All right, we're raw dogging it, ladies and gentlemen. We're raw dogging it. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the indieRift podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Steve Fontana, and with me is who's always with me. It's Andy Asimakis. How you doing, bud?
I had like the most New York ass moment
Oh,
the other day.
okay.
So, New York is known for certain things. I was going to work the other day. There was a couple of crazy guys on the subway.
Mm-hmm.
They find a person to like hone in on,
Sure.
to yell and scream at. Like they'll talk about their headphones, the color of their shirt. They'll say the most vile, disgusting shit to get them all riled up.
Just to
Just gotta
get the blood
you just
going.
gotta you just gotta
Yep.
tune it out, man.
Or
And
tune
then
in.
later that
I like to
day,
tune in.
yeah, tune
I
in,
like to
yeah.
engage.
It is entertaining. Then I went to work, had lunch, had some extra. I was like, me, I'll do an errand. Had to go to the pharmacy. And I was, let me give my leftovers to like a homeless person because they're again sad, but you'll find a bunch like in New York,
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
along like
Midtown
the
is
Times Square area,
yeah.
Midtown area. So I was like, hey, I have some food here, and this guy goes to me, what is it?
Mhm.
Right then, you pissed me off. So I go, it's salmon, chicken, some rice, and he goes, nah, I only eat vegetables, dude, only vegetables.
Okay.
And I got a good look at his like his mouth hole, and I was like, I think you mean rocks,
Yeah.
because there's like
Rocks
no
are not
teeth left
vegetables.
in that. There's
Yeah.
no teeth left in that mouth,
Yeah.
dude.
That happens.
So I was like, okay, I tried. So I took it back to the office.
Hey, listen.
Long day.
I would
Hold
ask.
on.
I would
Yeah,
ask.
go ahead. Go ahead.
There's certain things I don't like to eat, and I'd rather you give it to somebody that could eat it.
No, I mean, he obviously would have preferred money. That's what they usually prefer.
Sure, sure, sure. Me
So,
too.
all right, another annoyance, fine. It's whatever. It happens all the time. Go back to the office, busy day, people annoy me left and right. Whatever, was a long day. I think that was when we were going to record on Monday,
Mhm.
and I got out super late from work. So I'm walking home. I like to walk to 7th Avenue from Hudson Yards. I like to
Okay.
walk
It's a
take
little
this
walk.
the
Yeah,
scenic route.
it's a good
Yeah, it's a nice little walk, yeah.
it's a good 4 large
So,
blocks.
yeah, I got the headphones on, I got the playlist on rando, and then as I'm walking, I get Empire State of Mind. I'm like, this is such a great fucking song. I'm listening to it. It's been a long time.
Okay.
It's a nice, cool evening out. It's a beautiful summer night. It wasn't rainy that day. It was nice little weather. And then I look up as I'm walking towards the Empire State Building,
Yep.
literally up the block on 8th Avenue, and I see the bright neon red New Yorker building in front
Yeah.
of me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fucking A, damn right. You're goddamn right. I'm a New Yorker with the song blaring in my ears. Then I look to my right, there's a guy taking a shit. I was like, I fucking hate it here. I fucking loathe this city.
Listen, man. When you gotta go, you gotta go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the indieRift podcast, the internet's #1 indie gaming news, reviews, and previews podcast you probably never heard of. We post each and every week and on your listening service of choice. Just, if you're watching the video right here on youtube.com/@indieRift, you could also listen to the audio version. Or if that's what you prefer, you could go ahead and do that instead. You just type in indieRift and all 3 of our shows will probably show up. What are 3 shows, Andy? Oh, it's very simple. We have Dev Dive, a conversational podcast where we interview indie developers. And then we have Dev Dive Side Table, where I interview independent board game and tabletop gaming developers and publishers and creators of that space. I have a recording coming up this Friday, actually, which is going to be quite interesting. It is with one of the authors and creators of this little Dungeons and Dragons supplement called the Delver's Guide to Beast World, which I'm using in one of my campaigns that I'm running on Start Playing. .games, I think it is the website. But if you're on Start Playing and you want to play with me, I have a Friday and a Saturday game, so you could check those out. They're bi-weekly. Yeah, so you can do that as well. But you could also support us, the whole thing, if you go to patreon.com/indieRift. Just like our Patreon producer, Colton, their journeyman, Nestler. Can't continue to grow or stay exactly where we are without your support. So
Correct.
help us out. Go over to that Patreon. We're actually going to be starting a new, really the first, but it's going to be an official bonus content for our $3 tier, which is going to be me running micro sessions of Dungeons and Dragons, of a solo one shot that Andy is going to be playing in. It is going to be a survival horror Dungeons and Dragons campaign. And
so
we're going to
excited
be
for this.
making characters. We're, he's going to make his character, and that's going to be a little micro episode. And we're going to have these like little scenes, and we're going to post one probably every other week or so, and we'll see what happens. Or maybe, well, we're really supposed to do them once a month, but we might have to do a little more than that because we do owe some content on there. It has been a very busy, very, very busy year for both of us.
You have to pop the old D&D cherry. I'm excited about
Indeed,
that.
it's gonna be a lot of fun. I don't know. Your first experience really shouldn't be by yourself, but it's gonna be different enough from what core D&D is that I don't think you're gonna be missing anything by not being in a party, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think just to get into the mindset of what
What
this
it is,
whole
yeah.
hobby entails, I think it's a good start for me.
And
And
who
I have a
knows?
good Sherpa, so
Indeed, and who
I'm looking
knows? There
forward
might
to
be
it.
some guest appearances.
Oh,
You never know. I might have already lined
surprise
up some
guests.
surprise guests for
Oh.
our little bonus show.
Oh.
Speaking of being busy, boy, Steam Next Fest certainly kept us all busy. By us, I mean you. Um, you have played pretty much every game that was listed on there, but you've cherry picked, curated a nice little tight list to talk about
I did.
today. So before we get into that, we're gonna get into the indie. Actually, you know what, Andy, you did actually have some new content go up on the website. So why don't we kick it over to what's new on indieRift?
Oh, did we? What's
Yeah,
going
we
on
had
there?
since last week. We had some new stuff.
Let's see.
Go
Let's
up.
see. Let's see. Let's see.
We have Stellar Blade's PC release proves that good ass games always win. That was by you yourself. That was
Yeah.
popping off quite a bit.
It is a game with a good S. So that's
Indeed.
it does ring true.
Indeed. And I think we already spoke about this one, but just in case, it's one of my favorite ones that we've put up recently was the 4 Metroidvanias that ruled PAX East 2025. So
Oh, that was a good piece. Yeah.
yeah, if you want to check them out, you could go ahead and do that. Go to indieRift.com and spread some indie content love. Now we could slip into something nice. Put your little PJs
Yes.
on, maybe some silk jammers. Little silk jammies. Get yourself a little hot cocoa. But if you're in a too warm of a climate, I don't know, maybe a nice iced tea.
Where are we? We're in pajamas and cocoa.
Yeah,
It's like
just
100
get
degrees
cozy. We're
outside.
just getting cozy, man. We're just getting cozy. Maybe
I have like
pull up to a
swamp ass
bonfire.
right now. And
Yeah.
you're like
Start a little
for our guests
fire pit.
for our listeners in Antarctica, please
Yeah,
pull up
yeah.
your PJs and a cup of cocoa.
If you're all up inside the South Pole with the pengies, you just start a little fire. I actually did play something that wasn't a Next Fest demo, and I would love to talk about it with you. It is a game called Netherworld Covenant, which I would like to describe it as a roguelike action RPG Souls-like, kind of, sort of.
Oh.
Yeah. So the game is dark gothic sort of fantasy stuff. That's where I get reminded a lot of the Souls game, and the boss battles are very Soulsian. You have to pattern recognition, stuff like that. Well, this just started at the end of the trailer. Sorry about that, folks. It's really really good. The combat is so fluid and engaging. The roguelike elements are pretty obvious. There's 2 doors, each have a different thing happening in those doors, power up or different types of power ups and relics and things like that. You find weapon schematics during your play, and those are kind of the things that you take back with you. You take back your money, you take back your currency resources, and you take back any relics that you find, or not relics, blueprints of weapons and armor and stuff like that. And all the weapons play a little differently and stuff. And but you had the gimmick is that you have this like ghost or soul or something like that like you can summon and do special abilities with. and you could also like teleport to them. So like one of them is just a ghost that will take 2 swipes at the enemy, and then like let's say the enemy then charges you, you could then teleport to behind the enemy using the ghost, and like you could chain like really cool combat like that. Um, the there's like different challenges that you could find on your runs. Um, for example, there was this poor guy who like was sacrificed, I guess. But when you interact with his corpse, it changes one of the doors to be a fight with his soul, his corrupted soul, so that you can free
Mhm.
his corrupted soul and bring him back to your base, and then he would give you some other boons and stuff like that. Um, those fights are a little bit more challenging than, a regular boss fight, but super rewarding. Um, some of the cool power ups that you get, like, I'm not sure if this was a relic power up. I don't remember off the top of my head, but um, I like using a great sword. I just like the heavy hits. I could time it really well. Um, and if you do a heavy attack, you do like this kind of cleave, like you swipe through, and you can hit a lot of enemies that way.
Mhm.
And there's one relic that propels you forward and through the enemies when you do it. So I kite them kind of together as best I can, and then I'll do this attack and just swipe through them and take out like 2 or 3 of the smaller guys at a time, and it's super satisfying. Um, your like spirit thing has 2 different abilities. You can do like a one of them that I really like is this like ghost sword that you throw, and it like spins and hits the enemies and like then comes back to you and stuff.
Mhm.
Um, it's just it's a lot of fun. It's really challenging. Like I got through the first boss fight after maybe 4 or 5 tries. But it's only like it you have to go back and do that again, like bef- to get to the. So I started the next biome because you start it right away. And then I died in that biome, and then I went back, had to go back to like the first one. So I don't know what that loop is like. If I'm missing something, if I have to unlock something specific so that I could go straight to the second biome, I'm not quite sure. But I've put 5 or 6 hours into it now, and I'm really digging it. It's got great sound design. There's
Mhm.
some VO that they sprinkle in there. Um, it's just really good. I think a lot of people. I think more people should be talking about it because it's a ton of fun. And full
Yeah,
disclosure,
it's
I was provided a key from the publisher, so or
yeah,
PR team. I forget, but thank
it's
you for that.
early access, so we should note that as well. So it's
Yep.
still in active development. It's got some nice polish on it, dude.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
actually I'm gonna buy this right now. This actually looks really, really good.
Yeah, I think you would like it too.
Yeah.
It's very methodical, but also it's fast. Like it doesn't feel sloggy like a Souls can.
Mhm.
It feels like a good in between action RPG and deliberate Souls like combat, kind of like closer to like an Elden Ring. I would say in like its speed. Really good.
When does the camera there's a camera zoom in shots like in some of the gameplay, those like cutscenes or like a
Yeah,
QTE or
it's
like
like when you it's like when you first meet a boss, you'll get something like that.
gotcha.
Yeah, it's more cutscene stuff. There might be QTE stuff, like maybe when you get to like one of the bigger bosses, but um, yeah, I haven't experienced anything like that. But yeah, it's mostly like
I
the
l
cinematics and stuff.
I love all this. Like it just looks like a fucking Souls like Diablo. I'm so
Yeah,
into this right
yeah,
now.
yeah. But it's
Mm.
it's definitely rogue like. That's its
Yeah.
core values are that it's going from room to room and choosing your path through those rooms. Like I want a rune, or I want a spirit or ghost. I keep forgetting what they call it, power up, or I want more health, or I want to visit the vendor. It's like simple shit like that. But you kind of like it's so all your runs can be unique in that way. Um, yeah, I like it a lot, and if you like those kinds of games, you should definitely check it out. So that is Netherworld Covenant. Netherworld Covenant. So go
Very
ahead
nice.
and do that. Um, so we got indie news. We got the indie news report. Highlights from SGF and Xbox Showcase. What's SGF? Why am I blanking?
Summer Games
Summer
Fest.
Games Fest. Sorry. Okay. All right. Um, So you got Summer Games Fest, you got Xbox Showcase. We have 4 games that Andy wanted to highlight on here. So start us off with well, I'm not gonna cut to B-roll because we've seen enough of it, but Silksong. Silksong's here. It showed up.
Yeah, this I
Ready
have
to
to
go.
say, this is like I don't I'm gonna praise Microsoft's marketing team on this. They announced their ROG Ally branded Xbox handheld device at
Yep.
their last showcase, and they unveiled it with some footage of Silksong, which I think was the most ingenious move ever.
Yeah, that's good.
It's like, here's a game that's high profile. We're showing it. We're showing some footage. Maybe I'm not sure if it was new, but it could have been on this new device that we're putting out this year. So it's kind of cool seeing this game again. No release date. It is coming this year, so we'll see when it pops up. But it's definitely coming at some point
It'll
between
be
now
here, we
and
swear.
our deaths. So we'll get there eventually.
This next one actually has me kind of low-key hype. I'm not a big
Yeah.
like into this game, this IP, but we're getting Super Meat
We're
Boy
gonna
3D,
So
Andreas.
this was another shocker from the Xbox showcase, Super Meat Boy 3D. So it's hard to. There's two things that are happening here. One, this is not the Macmillan Meat Boy. He's no longer part of Team Meat. He is, since gone his own way. He's doing his eugenics thing now. God bless his soul. And it's also another example of a pixel art game that's making the jump to polygons. And, I have a little mixed feelings, but once we get to the demo impressions later on the Steam Fest stuff, you'll see how I may be turning a little bit on that. But for now, I am cautiously optimistic. It looks good. It looks good.
It's like a Super Mario 3D World, but
correct.
Meat Boy.
I'm just glad that it's not that. What was the other one they did? Meat Boy Forever.
Meat Boy Forever, yeah.
That was weird. That was an odd little game.
That was a choice for sure.
It was. I just want this team to do things other than Meat Boy. You're super resting on your laurels right now. Like, I get it. It's an awesome little franchise. It needs love, but do more than this. I mean, Macmillan has done what? Binding of Isaac, Eugenics. He's expanding his game developer chops beyond Meat Boy. So I want the same.
I think that's fair.
That
And I had one complaint about Super Meat Boy 3D. He doesn't look like meat. That bothers me. He just looks like he looks like a red marshmallow.
Yeah.
that upsets me. But speaking of developers kind of spreading
of things that are still pixelated
and expanding their portfolio and their gaming chops, Yacht Club has given us a release date for Mina the Hollower, and it's coming out this Halloween. Ooh, spooky.
This Halloween.
Every once in a while, your microphone gets a little garbled, and I think it might be a connection issue. So it's probably the internet, folks. I do apologize for that on Andy's behalf. We're not going to stop the show to figure it out.
It's
anyway.
Okay. I made a shitty joke. It's fine.
No, you were heard. It's just every once in a while you just go.
Okay.
It's no big deal. It's no big deal.
Mina, I sound like Meat Boy every now and then.
Every now and then, yeah. All right, so here we are. Mina it's going to be doing the thing. This is
unlike Silksong, it has a release date.
Indeed. Gosh, this game looks so good.
I know.
That's how you do pixels. I know.
Man.
How you do pixels.
Yeah, dude. This is it's like Game Boy Color aesthetic. It's so good. We played this game 3 years ago at PAX East. I'm so glad it's finally have a release date. I can't wait to get my hands on it. And we have an interview with the dev. So you want to check out that dev dive, go on the old YouTube at youtube.com/@indieRift and check that awesome shiz out.
Yeah. You could probably just Google interview Mina and Yacht Club, and it'll probably show up somewhere. Speaking of former guests of the show, Tribute Games.
Holy shit.
is doing the Lord's work.
What aren't they doing?
I don't know, but they are
So-
doing miracles. Ladies and gentlemen,
So-
Scott Pilgrim EX. Go ahead, Andy. Take us into it.
So, first of all, they announced that Marvel Space Invasion beat 'em up game
Yeah, they did.
not that long ago. I
Like
want to say
3
it
weeks
happened this year. Yeah, 3 weeks
ago. Yesterday? It was yesterday?
So, they gave us, Panzer Paladin, amazing little game. And then they evolved to doing the Turtles beat 'em up, which you and I both adored.
Mhm.
Loved the ass off of that. So they took their beat 'em up skills and they put it to a Marvel game. Very old school Marvel arcade action. Not out yet. Still in development. And then they announced this. What I love all of this. It's a new Scott Pilgrim game. It's by a team that kicks ass. It knows pixel art, knows beat 'em ups. And it's coming out next year.
Yeah, man. Kind of wild, actually, when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, and
I'm
they're
excited.
publishing. I'm not sure if that's always been a thing for them to publish their own stuff, but
I think they have been.
yeah.
Man, Scott Pilgrim, that was a moment in time that left such a profound imprint on so many gamers.
Mhm.
Like it to me, it's like Castle Crashers left a massive impression on the industry, and like Scott Pilgrim, and then the game being locked, like it just disappeared, delisted,
Oh yeah.
gone forever kind of
Mhm.
thing until a couple of years
Mhm.
ago. But like it had this like mythos, this aura of it, and plus it's a fantastic comic book. It's a great movie. It's such a perfect video game IP. I am thrilled that this is going to make some kind of a comeback. No complaints from me. Period. That's the end of segment.
Hell yeah.
Indeed. Okay, well, now it's the meat and potatoes, Andy. This is where you're going to be my Sherpa for video games. You're going to tell me about so many demos that you played. I will go in between your first two there, I think, and then we'll continue with
Yeah.
yours. I have one that
Yeah.
I admit I played one demo.
Yeah.
And I have two more on my docket that I'll probably play today and tomorrow. But the first one you were gushing about before we hit record.
Yes.
And you have many feelings about this game. So you broke up your games into some segments here. What is our first section that we're going to be talking about?
So this pair of games, the first two I'll be talking about, these are the good. These are games that I played that were really good. They were good ass games. They're all good ass games, but they're good.
Mm-hmm.
So the first on the list is Hell Is Us. Hell Is Us, I think, was unveiled not too long ago at some, I think it was maybe State of Play earlier this year, where people were likening it to Death Stranding, given the guy's outfit and a little floating apparatus.
Yeah.
Nothing at all like Death Stranding. Let's just get that out there. So it's a post-apocalyptic war zone. There's like demons trying to destroy mankind. It opens with you're in some interrogation room with some really hideous, like 20-chinned guy, like just interrogating you about why you were at a certain place or doing something.
I believe the boomers call that Ozempic face. I'm pretty sure that's what they're
skinny fat. That's also so then it jumps to like, I guess, the beginning where the story starts, and there's some guy like roaming the wasteland, a little abandoned little town, talking to people. You go on a little mission to go to some mysterious little area to get some stuff. And then enemies pop up, these like white hollow-faced creatures. And there's a warrior that's wearing this like, this coat, has a little mechanism that floats alongside her. She got this like futuristic blade. She gets killed. So naturally you steal her shit and you start fighting the baddies. It's a really short demo. I want to say I killed maybe like 6 enemies in total. But it does showcase some fun gameplay mechanics. Like the sword has a light heavy attack. I got double blades at some point. Same idea. Light heavy, you can charge your attack for more damage. Your little device has its own little special features. The one that was showcased in the demo, it can distract enemies. So like it hovers around their heads, like flashes lights and gets them all dizzy, and you can just wail on them for a little bit. So that's kind of neat. There's an interesting health recover mechanic. Whereas you beat enemies down, your health recovers a bit. That's a little gray you're seeing in the character's health bar on the
Okay.
video. If you press, I think it was RB at the right time, you can actually get that chunk of health you lost back.
Oh, so it's like a combo finisher to like recover.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, that's
So
cool.
yeah, kind of neat.
And like,
A
does it
little
reset when you get
Bloodborne
hit?
vibes. Exactly. Yeah. So if you don't hit at the right time, you can't revive that health back. So it's nice. I mean, it's also not, it's not a hard game. It's an action game. It's like a hacky slash kind of vibe I got
I like that.
from it. Yeah, it's not really Soulsian if you get those vibes at all, no way.
I'm getting like
Um,
control vibes a little bit, but like,
there's a little, yeah, the some of the color scheme,
yeah.
like in this little trailer here, has some like those like sharp reds, very control. But again, short little demo. I like what I played. I like what I saw, and it's out this year in September, so it's not a long wait. Demo's out there now. Play it, give it a shot. It's like a 20-minute of your time investment, but you'll like it. And I want to see more. I think this has potential for greatness. I feel like it's enough polish. It's very like borderline AAA, but like it's a high quality AA is what I get from it. And I think something magical is waiting in this game, and I can't wait for release in a couple of months.
I have just wish listed and I'll try the demo.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever, we're going to take a short break, but we'll be right back after these messages. And we're back. Hopefully we fixed the audio issues with Andy. Who knows? If it keeps happening, we're going to power through, but we did a valiant effort, a good old college try, I think. I'm not really sure what that means. I'll be honest with you. I didn't try in college. Let's go on to your second game here on the good section. My Little Puppy.
I fucking hate this game. Let me tell you why. This is why I don't play cozy games, Steven. There's a reason. Because emotion happens and I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
So here's the premise of this game.
Tell me.
It is said that when a human being dies, that their doggo is waiting for them in doggy heaven to escort them into the afterlife. So right there, I'm like, no, fuck you, go away. I'm gonna cry. It's gonna happen. So it opens up. You're a corgi in dog heaven. It says it dog heaven in big bold letters. Like there's fluffy clouds everywhere. So the dogs are saying, "Hey, there's a new arrival. We gotta throw a party." So off the bat, there's gameplay, which I was shocked. There's actual mechanics here to deal with. So the left trigger is your scent. All these little scents kind of like sprout from your nose, where all the little people you have to gather are. So you go, you get one. Also, I've never seen John Wick. Did John Wick die in any of those movies?
Not that I know of.
Okay, because there's a character.
Yeah, it's John Wick. Yeah,
that is like legit John Wick.
I mean,
with a now I know the first film's premise is that they kill his dog.
Yeah,
that's like the big thing with that movie.
That's the whole reason.
There's a dog
kills everyone.
Steven, look at that screenshot. There's a screenshot on the Steam page. The last one. There's a guy in a suit.
Yeah, no, he's in the trailer.
Tell me
too.
It's not Keanu. Yeah, so he's with the dog. Like that's Keanu and his dog. That's what that is. So I'm not sure if all these characters are like a reference to something, but that is very clearly John Wick and his puppy. So you got to gather the troops. Hey, there's a party. Come on, get your shit together. Some go easily. Some are like, hey, you got to find my toy. You got to dig. You got to dig up the cloud to find the toy. This one guy is like a soldier, I guess. He has like dog tags on. He's like got some a camo shirt. Not sure what his deal is.
He was
He's
probably
like, we'll
a
go,
soldier
but
canine.
correct. He's like, we'll go, but obstacle course. So you gotta run the course,
Oh, yeah. Oh.
and then he'll go. Um, this game raises more questions than I would have wanted it to, because as you're exploring Dog Heaven, you see the dead. These are all dead dogs with their dead owners in heaven. Seeing dead, like middle-aged people and elderly people makes sense.
Mhm.
There's like a dead baby.
Okay.
There's a
All right.
baby
Yeah.
on a
Okay.
dog.
Sure.
That's an infant that died. Like, did someone give you like plastic bags as a baby gift? Like, why is that baby dead?
Well, listen, man, it happens.
And then the new arrival is like a teenage schoolgirl. How did she die?
Depends what country she's in.
So then, after you've gathered the troops and the schoolgirl arrived, and she sees her puppy, her doggo, she cries. They reunite. It's amazing. Then we cut to our corgi, the one we're controlling, and he kind of plops down and he says, I miss daddy. And Steven, I fucking lost it.
Mm.
I was bawling like like a little schoolgirl.
I get it.
I was like, no game, you will not do this to me today. Because the idea is that these dogs are waiting in heaven for their owners.
Yeah.
So then I was like, but what if daddy is garbage? What if daddy is Michael Vick? He ain't going to heaven.
Oh. Well, he did ask for forgiveness. He tried cleaning his act.
So again, like this cozy little
It makes you think,
game
man.
about it does.
Makes you think.
And it was way too emotional. So I love it. I hate it. And I loved it again. So it's out this year, Q4 2025. It's so adorable. Like the dog like barks. Oh, and also bonus points. If a game can make my dog bark in real life and react, automatic win. Because as this dog was yapping, my dog was losing his shit the whole entire time I was playing this game. I was like, what is it, boy? What is it? So, oh, and there's like this like a weird rabbit ragdoll character in the
Yeah, I
trailer.
saw
If
that
you
too.
notice,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's like someone dressed as that died while doing mascot work, or it's an actual toy that's been blown up and is now like life size and alive.
Maybe that's what
in
angels
dog
are.
heaven. Correct. And dogs apparently get to eat in heaven. There's like doggy food everywhere, and you can munch on
Yeah,
kibble
absolutely.
in the afterlife. So enjoy that.
That was way more time I thought we were gonna spend on My Little Puppy.
Yeah,
Just
seriously,
throwing that
like,
one out there.
yeah, it got me.
So we'll slide into my little demo that I played, and it's a little tiny little game called Ratatan, which is of course is spiritual successor to Patapon. I had two very conflicting emotions happening at the same time: pure joy and utter confusion. I so you could pick between like four characters.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what those characters do that's specific to them. There's like a cat character that has claws. I assumed they would attack something, but I don't know. I don't think I'm doing it right.
Mhm.
It is heavily text tutorialized,
Okay.
probably because of the translation stuff, and it feels like translated through an app, like that. I'm just a little confused of what they're trying to tell me to do, but
Interesting.
essentially you have a bar, and you have beats to hit, and you can have your little creatures there. I don't know if they're called Ratatan. I think they might be.
Yeah,
Um,
I'd imagine.
you could have them do different. So like you could have some that have swords, some that have spears, bows and arrows, whatever.
Mhm.
But I'm very confused as to how to do differing attacks, because there's the B button, which is
Mhm.
attack. So you hit attack in the thing. But then there's triangle, that is also an attack, but I
Mm.
don't know what's different about it. Um,
Hmm.
it's probably because I jumped in with Patapon in my head, thinking it was gonna
Yeah.
be like that, where
Right.
certain combos do certain things, but like you have a purple meter at the top that I figured out is kind of like your special meter a little bit. So when you're
Yeah.
doing normal
Yeah.
attacks, you could then do
Yeah.
your triangle or Y attack and do it, and it's like a more specialized attack or like a super attack or whatever. I need to play it more to really figure out what the hell I'm doing. There's on the left side of the screen, there's prompts, and there's the right side of the screen also has the prompts, and they're the same buttons. So I don't know
Hmm.
what how to who's doing what. Like one says guard and attack, and I don't know if that's what's guarding, what's attacking at that point. I started to kind of get into a flow, but like you have to move your main character, you move him along, um, you to get up to the enemies, and then you have to like call the Ratatan to you. So like that's
Mhm.
a command. So I think that was X. So when you're hitting X, um, doing that command, they'll come to you, and then you could have start having them attack. And I assume guard, but depending on like when the enemy's like charging up, it's stuff. Excuse me. But I need to play it more to really understand what the hell's going on. It also has roguelike elements.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like,
I didn't expect that.
yeah, after you've clear like one screen of enemies, there's like
Mhm.
two power ups. I don't know what the choice. I don't know what they do yet. I think they're currencies, but like for different things. And when you choose one, that one goes into the door and unlocks for the next space. And then
Mhm.
I had one screen where one was a currency, and then the other option was a mysterious enemy. So I was like, all right, let me see what
Okay.
these enemies look like. So I chose the enemy. So the next screen had like a little more difficult enemy, which I assume would drop more loot at the end. Um,
I just like how it doesn't sound like a copy and paste job of Patapon.
oh
Like
yeah, no, it's
Patapon
definitely not.
had it was like strictly rhythm based. Like
Mm.
that little meter filled up, and it was like an all out attack. They would go ballistic. There were like those little miracle moves you would do, like you would gain like little special techniques as you progressed. But this sounds like it has a lot more layers to it, gameplay wise.
Yeah, it
So I
probably
like how
does.
they're evolving like what they've established with Patapon with this game. So it's in my download list right now. I'm gonna give it a shot and see if I can make any
Yeah.
sense of it
There's
as well.
there's like when you save the currency and you could buy cards for your deck. I don't know how the deck is implemented. But
That
again,
sounds so weird.
I literally
The
played for
deck
like
thing.
25
Yeah.
minutes before we had to jump on and record. So my ignorance is probably just for me
Dedication.
literally being ignorant. But it was on my list, and I was like, I really want to play this before the show. So I'll have more opinions next week because I'm going to play it a little
All
bit
right.
more. Oh, for the art is absolutely delicious. It's so good, and
There was no doubt.
the
Yeah.
music is
Another. Yeah.
perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
Exactly what I was hoping it would be.
Good.
Speaking of exactly what I was hoping it to be, Moonlighter 2. Tell me about it, Andy.
Oh. So this is gonna be like again, my Meat Boy gripes, my Hyperlight, whatever that sequel is, Hyperlight Drifter, whatever that sequel is happening. Um to the Gungeon. All these games that were once pixel art and Moonlighter are taking their sequels to polygons. I always felt a little why? It looked great. Just keep that same formula. I was wrong. This is amazing. So I played this demo and off the bat, it's just gorgeous. Like the art style, it is I can't even describe it. Like going from some really well-made sprite work to some now even better produced 3D models. I was blown away.
Yeah,
And
it
seeing my
didn't lose its
seeing
charm.
yeah, exactly. Seeing my little gray-haired little guy walking around doing his thing. So the demo opens with, I think you owe the town something. Like, hey, you're a deadbeat, pay your bills, go get stuff to sell. So some like goblin guy like opens a portal, throws you out in the desert, says kiss my ass, and he fucks off.
That'll happen.
So you're there with a broom as your starter weapon, and off the bat we got combos. We got some combo goodness. You're shellacking enemies away. Feels good, good weight, good meatiness to those thwacks. And you got a gun. So you have like the most primitive tool and like an alien advanced like pistol that you can aim and shoot at enemies. And there's a little meter that you can recharge by bashing enemies so that it fills up as you do melee attacks. And there's a technique where if you stun your enemies, you can bash them with your backpack. So you go through this beautiful little map, you kill some enemies, you get some items, and then it kind of fades to black. Then we see our beautiful title screen, Moonlighter 2 Endless Vault. And then we're in the town. Massive, sprawling town. And now we're in selling mode. Steven, this is going to be an obsession for both of us. They did it. And I can say it from a demo alone. They nailed it again. Holy shit. Incredible.
Awesome. I'm very excited.
Yeah, dude. Dude, it's just so good.
This was the first game in your next category, by the way, called the real good games.
These are the real good games, yeah. These are real good games.
Just to clarify, they're all real good games. It's just these are realer gooder.
The gooder.
More sequel talk or continuing IP talk, returning IP talk. An old school take on an old school game that became a new school game and is now old school again. How do we feel about that description? I think it's perfect.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. It's
Ninja Gaiden, Ragebound. How'd you like it? Because you're a connoisseur of the genre.
It's in the real good. So I just gotta say off the bat, this game is an example of how I feel every major IP holder should handle these games. What I mean is, Ninja Gaiden 4 is coming out pretty soon. AAA, like awesome, like high fidelity, current gen hardware, all the bells and whistles. Then you give Game Kitchen, the blasphemous guys who know sprite work, who know melee combat really well. It's like, hey guys, hey awesome indie dev, how's about you do a Ninja Gaiden game for us? This is the shit. This like it harkens back to the NES days. It's got enough difficulty, but there's checkpoints. And I'm like, okay, it's not that hard like it was back in the day, but I'll allow it. You're not playing as Ryu. You're like a disciple or like, a young little ninja in training, so to speak. There's demons. So it's very much like the old NES games. There's like demons everywhere. You gotta slay them. One thing I noticed, I think I'm right in this. So Ninja Gaiden on the NES was known for all of those like sub weapons you could gather as you're playing each level, like the shuriken that's like a boomerang, and your regular throwing stars, like an aura shield thing that surrounds you. I think this game's version of that, there's this entity, this member of the Spider Clan, this female character who is bound to this new character, this disciple, this ninja in training, I forget his name. And she has sub weapons. She throws stars. She has like a little Castlevania like arching axe sickle thing. But what she can also do is that these little hubs you come across, and she can tap into the demon world, and it's like a switch. Very Messenger, like the other side tapping into. Now it's all messed up. There's different platforms appear. You got to make your way around to solve a puzzle to open up an entryway to allow the progression. So that little mechanic, that gimmick is now part of it. Amazing soundtrack, amazing combat. It's got what's that game? Holy shit, I am blanking on it right now. Cuphead.
Oh, okay.
There's like a parry system.
Okay.
So if you double jump on an enemy, if you time it, you can attack and like parry. So if there's like incoming projectiles, or if we need to get over to hoist over an enemy, you can parry over them. Great for boss fights. Yeah, solid gameplay. I think there's about 3 levels in the demo. Good beefy demo too. I will say. Need more of that. But yeah, I loved every second of it. It's classic NES side-scrolling Ninja Gaiden fare. And this game I grew up with, the series. So seeing it like in its original, like it's embracing its roots from the art style to the gameplay to even the demons that are everywhere. I love it.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna make me rage quit, but I'll give it a try. Our friends at Dread
There's checkpoints,
XP,
there's save points, so you're good.
our friends at Dread XP are publishing a little title in your news section, the next section of your demo breakdown, The Good Bad.
It's good bad. So, I like my schlock. Did you ever see a film that's so bad it's good? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Of course.
So these games, like, these are pure 100% guilty pleasures.
Okay.
Like, these will not win awards. They will not get much recognition. But to someone like me, I adore these games. These are the good bad games. It's games that I will go to for a good time and turn my brain off. So the first on the list, PIGFACE.
Uh-huh.
The premise is you're a character named Exit. In a very Suicide Squad like setup, there's a bomb in your head and you're in a warehouse. Go kill people, says the mystery voice on the loudspeaker. So you grab an axe, you grab a firearm. There was a shotgun in the demo, shotgun, handgun, submachine gun, a sniper rifle, an assault rifle, and you're just wailing on people, dude. Like, I'm talking headshots, heads go boom, clean off. You can like cut off limbs, you can bash limbs so they come off. It's like an unhinged version of Manhunt.
Okay.
Which says a lot considering how unhinged Manhunt is.
Well, yeah.
Ultra violent. Like that classic PS1 style graph, which I love. I go crazy for. So I'm buying this. I'm buying it. I'm playing it. I'm reviewing it.
I had no
Think
doubts.
enough.
As soon as I
Think
saw the N64 style first-person shooter graphics, I was like,
Yeah.
Andy's in it.
On the name alone, I mean, Dread XP they love these gems, these like PS1 N64 kind of gems, and they just they do me no wrong, and that's why I adore them so hard.
Awesome. I have 2 games that I didn't get to play. They were part of the demos that I was going to play, but if you want to play them before they go off the store, if they go off the store, I'm gonna play them today or tomorrow. Like I said, Ferocious has a new demo out. That is a first-person survival first-person shooter, where you're like shooting dinos and stuff. It's real cool, and I didn't play the first one, and it's published by Tiny Build, so it's got that stamp of approval on it. And then I saw a game that I think you would really like, Dead as Disco. It's a martial arts meets music video in Dead as Disco, a neon-drenched beat 'em up where every punch, kick, and combo syncs to the music.
Oh yeah.
So it looks dope. It gives me like Sifu vibes, but like music.
Yeah.
You know.
I am into this.
So we'll take a look at that deeper next week's show. Yeah.
And you know what, Steven? You know what?
What?
I just clicked on that link.
Yes.
The 50 most played demos of this year's June Next Fest. This is like
Mhm.
the 5th game on the list.
Yeah. 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 It is. And it looks really cool. And I'm
Yeah.
about that life. Okay, let's we're almost at the end of the show here, but we like to tell you about indie creators out there that are trying to get their dreams to become a reality. And a lot of developers and teams use Kickstarter to do so. So we like to highlight a project on Kickstarter every now and again. We try and do one every week if one pops into our minds. But Andy found this next one, and it's called Big Hops, a
Oh, that's
fresh
right.
and froggy action platformer. Um, this looks adorable, by the way. I
Yeah,
approve
you know,
this choice.
yeah, this was when I saw this game, I was like, Steve's gonna love this game. It's, the classic 3D platformer. You're an adorable ass frog. It's got really fun graphic style. You use your tongue to like swing from objects in the environment or to solve puzzles. And looking at it, you understand why it's already been funded with 5
Yep,
days to go.
yep, yeah. It's your classic 3D collectathon platformer. Um, taking you have your stamina wheel for your climbing and stuff like that. It looks like it's very fluid. And I'm watching the trailer now, but like
Mhm.
doing some moves in the sky and then transitioning to underwater stuff. I mean, that's pretty cool. And these games always do well. I feel like the people are hungry for games in this genre. Um,
Yeah.
and when they're done well, which it looks like this one might be. I mean, the unique way to solve puzzles, different abilities you get to use with your tongue, pretty cool stuff. Um, but yes, that is Big Hops. They had a $40,000 goal. They have achieved that goal. There are 5 days left. So there's a couple days. There's going to be at least, probably 3 or 4 days by the time you're listening to this. So if that is a type of game that you want to see made and you want to support, go to Kickstarter and look for Big Hops. And yeah, that's it. Indie games are fun, and you should play them all. You should play. You should play as many as you can. I know I am when I have time, which is soon. This has been the last 2 weeks from hell, but it's getting better. It's getting better. We're almost there.
Okay,
But where we
I
are,
should not have clicked that list. I just installed like 10 more games while you were talking.
well, ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen, that's going
fuck.
to bring us to the end of the show. Again, if you want to follow us on social media, we're at indieRift everywhere you go. I'm at BatChild27. Andy is at Pants Guy, so you can follow us there. And again, if you join our Patreon, you get into our Discord. You can hang out with us and our indie developer friends. Don't forget to subscribe to the show, share it with everybody. That's the best way to get the word out. Just share. Everything you can do. Just tell people, hey, I found this podcast. Not a ton of people are in there, and it's we could really support indie games and indie podcasters. So we would appreciate that. Andy, is there anything you want to tell the listeners before we go?
Wishlist all these games you mentioned today and play them because
Why not?
this is how indie games get noticed is the algorithm, and the wishlisting goes a long way, and like these events really help propel these games forward. So please wishlist and play because you might find the gem,
You
your
might
next
find
favorite game.
you might find your next unit. Yeah, exactly. Your new favorite game.
Mhm.
Thank you, listeners. Thank you, viewers. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, developers. For real. Like, thank you for working so hard to make these games that we just fall in love with and can't wait to play. The rest of this year is going to be wild. We have a lot of great games coming out. Um, yeah, thank you everyone, and as always, please be excellent to each other.